Hi, and welcome back to our channel, Home Buying in Colorado. My name is Danielle Harvey, and I am a realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty.
Hi, I'm Nicole Goyette, and I help people purchase homes with financing.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about down payments. So, Nicole, why don't you start about describing what a down payment is?
Yeah, so a down payment is a small amount of money that a buyer has to pay in cash in order to actually qualify for a purchase. It is unrealistic to think that anyone is going to be able to afford the cost of a home with their own money. And so a down payment can basically be viewed as a way of showing that you have some skin in the game and that you are invested in the outcome of this purchase.
Awesome. So, is a down payment the only type of cash that you need to bring to closing?
Great question. Buyers should consider there being two types of buckets that you need to contribute money to as part of a purchase. The first bucket is the down payment, and a buyer must contribute the money for the down payment. The second bucket is what we generally refer to as closing costs, and those are the costs associated with actually transferring ownership of the home into your name, into the buyer's name, from the seller's name.
And what is a down payment equal to?
So we run down payments generally based on percentages. And so as a first-time home buyer, someone who has no home buying experience in the past, the amount of down payment that you're required to contribute is equal to 3% of the purchase price. So for simplicity, if someone is buying a $100,000 home, they need to be prepared to have $3,000 in cash that will go towards the down payment. For people who have lower credit scores or perhaps a more complicated credit history, then an FHA loan might be something to consider, and the minimum down payment requirement for that is 3.5%.
And is a down payment dependent on the type of loan?
It is. So I just said a conventional loan requires 3% down. And interestingly, for a conventional loan, a first-time home buyer is someone who hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years. So even if you have a history of owning a home and then rented a house for 4 years, you again qualify as a first-time home buyer. An FHA program, as I said, is 3.5% down payment. And then once you move on and become a more experienced homeowner, those down payment numbers increase in percentage.
Is there any down payment assistance out there in the state of Colorado?
There's actually a lot of down payment assistance. So in general, lenders prefer to see that a buyer is able to provide a small amount of cash. However, coming up with cash these days and savings is hard. So in Colorado, one of the most well-known down payment assistance programs is hosted through CHFA, which is the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority. And they help people come up with that 3% down payment so that they're actually bringing none of their own money outside of closing costs to the purchase. There are also several metropolitan bureaus, so cities and people who work for governmental entities that can help with the down payment. And then there are, just based on the location that you're in, some options that you can look into where people are trying to make homeownership more accessible to people who live in that town.
Well, awesome. Well, in a future video, we're going to talk a little bit about down payment and how it differs for when you're buying your second, third, fourth home. So we hope to see you there.
See you next time.